Hard by COVID-19, but that is especially true in our smaller towns with small economies. Our Julie Dunmeyer went to Hesperia to talk about their continuing struggles now almost a year into the pandemic.
I was here in Hesperia last week doing a story on this guy, their biggest snowman, but the story I didn't get to do was on the for sale sign here at one of the only diners in town. And today we're talking about just how COVID has hit this small community. There's something about a January thaw.
Small town America.
That uncovers all the things we might have missed.
We've been struggling because their businesses we've lost business and none have come back, so we're trying to be very proactive on bringing business in.
Mike Farber, president of the Village of Hesperia, has called it home his whole life.
It's a beautiful little community.
But nothing has hit quite as hard as a pandemic.
This COVID has really shut us down.
With, at last count, less than 1,000 people living here, the local economy is already as tiny as can be. No one knows that quite like Township Trustee Jackie Slocum.
In 2019, I opened a small retail store downtown.
The Lazy Daisy, which now sits vacant.
I was a seasonal business, so I was only in the summertime and because there's no heat in my building. It did pretty well the first few months that I was open, and then the following spring when I was to open, COVID hit. There was restrictions on how many persons you could have per square foot.
With a place like Jackie's,
my shop is so small that it would only allow me 1.5 people in my store at a time. That's including myself.
Opening isn't an option, at least for now.
Hopefully I can hold out that long.
Also hoping someone will take over where Daniel's, the town diner, left off.
COVID has hit us hard. We lost a staple of our community with Daniel's, losing that restaurant, and it's just unfortunate timing that they were retiring and closing down the business.
The youngest member of the board, Sarah Walker, sees the writing on the wall.
It's not a buyer's market right now. Nobody wants to come into a small town like ours and put a restaurant up that may just fail. And so it's difficult to watch.
But not impossible to fix.
We've always had a barber.
And a car wash too, no matter how many times it's changed hands.
We try to work with everybody and welcome everyone in.
To keep their small town way of life going.
To see them go, it really hurt.
Through part of a harsh winter that unless you lived here, you would never see.
They are struggling and we try to stay local. You know, everyone's trying to take precautions to get over this. And it's just a small town.
Members of the board also telling me, they know that COVID is a very real problem. Jackie herself telling me a loved one of hers got sick with COVID and she was incredibly worried about them even making it through, saying that they know that that's a very real problem, but what's happening here is also a problem as well. In Hesperia, Julie Dunmeyer, Fox 17 News.
All right, thank you for that, Julie, and that's happening all over the country. Thank you for highlighting it.